All right. I said the last video was the last one, but I was wrong. I forgot. The last thing you want to do before you turn your three-dimensional bridge into reality is make sure that what you are going to make will be under the weight limit. This bridge can only be a maximum of 200 grams if you're going for the 16-inch gap. So the first thing I need to do is tell Onshape how much each of these things weigh. Some things, like the popsicle stick, I know about what they weigh. So I can select here the popsicle stick, which is part 2. Right there, I have it selected. Part 2 is selected. Go down to this scale in the bottom right. And under mass, I'm going to check this override button. And I'm going to say that it is 1.4 grams G. I'm going to put 1.4 G. All right, it converted it to pounds because my workspace is in pounds. But what the override command does is let you just say, hey, I know about how much this thing weighs. I'm just going to say it. And I've measured these popsicle sticks. They do vary. They're not all identical, but most of them are 1.4 or less. So 1.4 grams for the popsicle stick. I'm going to click the green check mark there. Now, the things that are a little bit harder to tell the mass of, like this truss or this surface here, I am going to assign a material to it. So I'm going to select part 1 and part 3. I'm going to right-click or the two-finger tap here. Edit material for 2 parts. Now I'm going to do a custom material. So it might be under library, but then you're going to click over here on custom. And for the name, I'm just going to call it plywood. The density of this plywood, the best I've been able to calculate, is 0.0232 pounds per cubic inch. So this says density in pounds per cubic inch, 0.0232. I'm going to press enter. After I've pressed enter, I'm going to then click this green check mark. And now if I click that part and I click the scale, it tells me it's about 0.162 pounds. All right, let's go over to our assembly now, where we have the fully assembled bridge. I'm going to highlight everything in the assembly. So multiple popsicle sticks, multiple trusses, the road surface, everything. And now when I click this scale, I can see that it is 0.388 pounds. 0.388 pounds. Now, the limit is in grams, so you might want to go to Google or Siri and say, hey, what's 0.388 pounds in grams? I'm looking at it in another tab right now for Google, and it says it's 175 grams. 175 grams is good. It's well under my 200-gram limit. It gives me a little room for error if my plywood has a slightly different density. It also gives me extra space to add glue, because glue will add mass. Glue does weigh something. So my final design weighs 175 grams. That allows me about 24 grams of glue, which is probably a good estimate. I would say glue, depending how sloppy or neat you are with it, it could weigh anywhere between 5 and 15 grams. So my weight is good. I know I can now turn this into a final product. I'm going to record a video for how you send this file to me for laser cutting.